Management Act. In short, Honorable Chairperson, all the operations of these funds, including the expenditures and the incomes, will have to follow the rules as per the PFM Act in terms of their preparations and their submission to this House. I beg to move, Honorable Chairperson.
I now propose the question that clause 34 be amended as proposed. 35, sorry, let me repeat that. I propose the question that clause 35 be amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 35 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 35 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 36.
Clause 36 is a proposed amendment. Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 36 be part of the bill. Move of the amendment.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 36 be amended as per the order paper. This is also, Honorable Chairperson, to really reiterate that this fund will still be subject to the Public Audit Act, and therefore there is an express provision that their financial statements must and shall be audited by the Auditor General. But Honorable Chairperson, if you remember last year we passed an amendment to the Public Audit Bill, to the Public Audit Act, that reduced the period for submission of financial statements to the Auditor General from 4 months to 3 months. Therefore, this particular amendment is now aligning to Section 47(1) of the Public Audit Act, Cap 412B, and also with our constitution that requires that all public funds and all public accounts must be subject to audit by the Auditor General, and they must submit their financial statements to the Auditor General within 3 months after the end of a financial year.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. That is self-explanatory. I now propose the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed. Chair. Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Chair, I don't need to add anything much on this, but I support. But also to say, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, remember when we moved this bill the day before yesterday, I emphasized on this point that this fund is subject to the Public Audit Act. And this amendment is improving the bill in the sense that the bill had required that the financial statements are sent to the Auditor General 4 months after the end of the financial year. The committee, as we said in debate, and the chair mentioned it, had proposed an amendment to reduce that period in line with the amended Public Audit Act from 4 months to 3 months. That gives Parliament the opportunity that some of us were saying that we will be denied to oversight this fund. Because 3 months after the end of the financial year, the Auditor General has the books, finishes with the audit. That audit comes to our public accounts and public investments accounts committees, and we do our work now as oversights of this fund. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. I now put the question that clause 36 be amended. Was someone calling? Yes, Honorable Ounda, I thought you're happy about that one.
Yes, of course, I'm a happy man today. And once we finish, I'll carry the chair. We'll go where we normally go. I'm a happy man today. Chair, I just want to emphasize the point. And the point I want to emphasize is the timelines for submission of the audited reports and the timelines taken to review the same by the National Assembly. You remember there has been a court case that has made very far-reaching judgment in respect to the timelines. So I just urge the National Assembly to do all that we can to make sure that the audit reports that we submit here are updated and are as current as they can be. Thank you for the amendments.
But I think following that lawsuit, it was actually, they've speeded up the work of the various committee, and the clerk has given them ample support for them to be able to make it on time. So I don't think we still have that mischief anymore. It's already been mitigated. So allow me now, I now put the question that clause 36 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 36 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 37.
I now propose the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 5A.
Mover? Mover, you have to make the second reading of the new clause? Yes. So you move that it be read a second time and then you move the new clause?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that new clause 5A be now read a second time. Honorable Chairperson, this is the new clause that is now seeking to establish the governing council of the fund. This new governing council shall comprise of, among others, the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury, the Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya, the Attorney General, and 6 other persons that are not public officers. And this is to bring more expertise and bring also officers who are already serving government that have a bird's eye view of the operations and of the whole republic. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move.
Thank you. I now propose the question that the new clause 5A be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 5A be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 5A be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 5A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 5B.
Mover?
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that new clause 5B be now read a second time. This, Honorable Chairperson, as I explained earlier, it provides for who the governing council members are going to be, what their expertise is going to be. They need to have a degree, they need to have proven leadership experience in public policy, finance, investments, and other related field. I beg to move, Honorable Chairperson.
I propose the question that the new clause 5B be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 5B be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 5B be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 5B be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 5C.
Mover?
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that new clause 5C be now read a second time. Clause 5C reads that the member of the governing council under section 5BD shall be appointed by the president and shall serve a period of 3 years, renewable once. So these are, apart from, the members of the governing council are the Cabinet Secretary National Treasury, the Governor of the Central Bank, the Attorney General, and 6 persons not being public officers. So this now provision is providing that these 6 persons are the ones that will be appointed by His Excellency the President. I beg to move, Honorable Chairperson.
I now propose the question that the new clause 5C be now read a second time. I now put the question. Yes, Honorable Owundo, I think this is self-explanatory.
Yeah, I just wanted to draw to the attention of the chair and the majority leader. Majority leader, probably could have been a bit neater in view of the importance of this fund or the board if those being appointed at 5BD are staggered, so that we remain some kind of institutional memory, so that we don't, it's a bit of continuity. That would just be a suggestion. Probably we can pick it up later as we proceed.
I now put the question that the new clause 5C be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that the new clause 5C be part of the bill. I now propose the question that the new clause 5C be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 5C be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 5D.
Chairperson,
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that new clause 5D be now read a second time. This is a provision that's providing for how these members under 5BD can be removed, the sixth person. They can be removed if they have committed a criminal offense, if they are declared a bankrupt by a court of law, if they resign, or if they are otherwise found unfit to discharge the function of the office, and they can be removed just by the pen of the office of the President. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
I now propose the question that the new clause 5D be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 5D be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that the new clause 5D be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 5D be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 5E.
And Chairperson, because we still have the BPS,
Yes.
if something is
Yeah.
already captured in the sections, then we don't have to read them out.
Honorable Chairperson, I was seeking your indulgence if we could have passed 5A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but I was told this procedure we must approve one. So I beg to move that, Honorable Chairperson, that clause 5E be now read a second time, and this is providing that this Council of Governors can only meet twice in a year or any other meeting that may be found necessary, but they have to give notice. So this makes sure that they don't become an impediment. Sorry. Honorable Chairperson, let me try again.
They have a copy of the bill.
I beg to move that clause 5E be now read a second time. This is providing for the governing council shall only meet twice a year so that they don't become an impediment to the running of the board. I beg to move, Honorable Chairperson.
I propose the question that the new clause 5E be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 5B be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 5E be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 5E be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 5F.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that new clause 5F be now read a second time. This providing for allowances paid to the governing council be as per the consultation with Salaries and Remuneration Commission. I beg to move, Honorable Chairperson.
I propose the question that the new clause 5F be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 5F be read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 5F be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 5F be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 5G.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that new clause 5G be now read a second time. This providing that for a clause that prevents this Council of Governors from engaging in activities that would lead to conflict of interest. I beg to move, Honorable Chairperson.
I now propose the question that the new clause 5G be read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 5G be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 5G be part of the bill. I put the question that the new clause 5G be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 21A.
Mover.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that new clause 21A be now read a second time. This is providing the clause that the Cabinet Secretary shall submit the investment policy to the National Assembly for approval.
I propose the question that the new clause 21A be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 21A be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 21A be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 21A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 21B.
I now beg to move that new clause 21B, that the investment policy shall be tabled in the National Assembly, and the National Assembly shall consider the investment policy within 91 days from the date of tabling. I beg that it be read, within 90 days from the date of tabling. I beg to move, Honorable Chairperson.
I propose the question that the new clause 21B be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 21B be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 21B be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 21B be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 21C.
Mover.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that new clause 21C be now read a second time, that the National Assembly shall either approve the investment policy for implementation, or approve the investment policy with reservations or propose amendments, or C, decline the investment policy. I beg to move, Honorable Chairperson.
I propose the question that the new clause 21C be read a second time. I put the question that the new clause 21C be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 21C be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 21C be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 21D.
Mover.
So, Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that new clause 21E be now read a second time, that upon receipt of the national notice under section 21D, the Governing Council shall publish the approved investment policy, or in the case where investment policy is approved with reservations.
I think you said E instead of D.
Oh, D, yes, sorry. I beg to move that new clause 21D be now read a second time, that the clerk shall notify the Cabinet Secretary of the resolution of the National Assembly within 7 days of the resolution, and where the National Assembly approves the investment policy with reservations or proposed amendments, the notice shall state the proposed amendments or reservations made by the National Assembly. I beg to move on.
Thank you, Chairperson. But just let's note that the members have the copy on their order paper. So, honorable members, I now propose the question that the new clause 21D be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 21D be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 21D be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 21D be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 21E.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that new clause 21E be now read a second time.
I propose the question that the new clause 21E be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 21E be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 21E be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 21E be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 21F.
Mover.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that new clause 21F be read a second time, that the investment policy shall be published in the Kenya Gazette.
Thank you. I propose the question that the new clause 21F be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 21F be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 21F be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 21F be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 25A.
Mover? Yeah. Sorry. Oh, Chairperson, it's not you who's the mover. Honorable Duncan Mathenge.
Chair, I propose that the bill be amended by inserting the following new clause immediately after 25. Approval of projects. An infrastructure project financed from the fund whose value shall exceed this threshold as prescribed by the Cabinet Secretary shall require approval of the National Assembly prior to commitment of the funds.
I propose the question that the new clause 25A be now read a second time. Yes, Chairperson, do you want to say something?
Yes, Honorable Chairperson, this House will have approved the investment policy. The board shall be required to make reports to this House annually. These particular public funds will be subjected to audit by the Office of the Auditor General. To require then that the board now comes here for approval before payment is being, Honorable Speaker, then we are making this House to do the work of National Treasury, to do the work of control of budget, to do the work of all the other entities, and to really do the work of the executive. I think it's too overreaching and it's not really necessary if you really want to operationalize this fund. And therefore, I beg this House to reject this amendment.
I put the question that the new clause 25A be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. Yeah. So that has fallen. Yes. So we move to the next one.
Yeah. New part 7A, new clause 36A.
Chairperson.
Honorable Chairperson, at the tail end of these amendments, so Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that we insert a new part 7A, under offenses and penalties. And that 6A provides for the following. And please allow me, Honorable Chair, to read that a person who misappropriates any funds or assets from the fund, or assists or causes any person to misappropriate the funds or assets, or apply the funds or assets otherwise than in the manner provided for in the Act, commit as offense and is liable to the following: a conviction to pay twice the amount misappropriated, 2, pay a fine not less than 10 million shillings or imprisonment for a term of not less than 5 years, or to both. So this, Honorable Chairperson, this particular provision that we are amending is to provide offenses and penalties to make it very punitive for any person who shall try to misappropriate this particular fine, to make them be liable to pay twice the amount misappropriated, or to an imprisonment of not less than, or pay a fine of not less than 10 million shillings, or an imprisonment not less than 5 years, Honorable Chairperson. We have seen the course, Honorable Chairperson, give fines that are much lower than the amount is misappropriated. And many Kenyans are saying, please give me that money and I am willing to go to jail for 1 year. If I am going to go to jail for 1 year and misappropriate millions, if not billions of shillings, Honorable Chairperson. So this is making it expressingly to be extremely punitive for anyone who tries to dip their dirty fingers into this particular fund, Honorable Chairperson.
I now propose the question that the new clause 36A be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause... Yes, Honorable Owundo?
Even Sir George wants to say something, has been quiet for long. I totally support the amendment, Honorable Chair, and probably could also think through, and Sir George will guide us, what if the person misappropriated the funds and went to piga sherehe and he has got nothing to pay? Sir George, guide us, how shall we recover public funds? And it all ended up in celebrations and parties. Sir George, please guide. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
I now put the question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is interesting form of punishment. it almost goes against the principles of legality on punishment, because you cannot be punished twice. You cannot be punished once. Now, the first punishment appears to be restitution, that you restitute what you took away, you converted in the civil law. Now, if you do that, you can only restitute the exact amount, then after that you get punished. But where it is actually doubled, it means you've already gotten a punishment. Then the second punishment is the fine. So there may be a legal problem with that, but I can assure you, it's supposed to be punitive, deterrent. That is the reason it's being made as stringent as it can be. I would support it, but we may have a problem with our courts.
I think the courts during their sentencing procedure will pick it out. Yeah, so usually that is judge-made law. So, honorable members, I want to put the question that the new clause 36A be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 36A be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause, you want to say something, Chair? Yes. I now put the question that the new clause 36A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New part 7A, new clause 36B.
Mover.
Mwenyekiti, ningependa kupendekeza kwamba kipengele cha 36B kisomwe kwa mara ya pili. Na mwenyekiti, kama vile chairperson wa Jaila amesema, kama hutaki kulipa hiyo faini, basi usiibe pesa ya umma. Asante, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
I now propose the question that the new clause 36B be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 36B be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 36B be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 36B be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. There is no 36, right? 38.
New clause 38.
Yes, Honorable Mathenge.
Honorable Chair, the intended new clause 38 has been taken care of by the new clause 36B. So I drop the amendment.
Thank you. Yeah. So that is duly dropped. Thank you.
New clause 39.
Mover.
Honorable Chairperson, it's good to know that this is the last amendment. The last new clause. I beg to move that new clause 39 be now read a second time. This, Honorable Chairperson, is a consequential amendment. As a consequential amendment, since the bill provides that one of the source of the funds will be process of privatization, then there is need to amend Section 54 of the Privatization Act so that it reads as follows: that proceeds from the sale of direct government shareholding, that 54, any proceeds from the sale of direct national government shareholding shall be paid into the consolidated fund. I beg to move, Honorable Chairperson.
I now propose the question that the new clause 39 be now read a second. No, 39. Yeah, actually it's 39, not 39A. I propose the question that the new clause 39 be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 39 be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 39 be part of the bill. I now put the question that the new clause 39 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? Sorry, apologies, I haven't said that. Okay. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
Chairperson? Is that? Close to.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 2 be amended as per the order paper, and this is going to provide for the definition. This is on definitions. This is providing for definition of who comprises the governing council.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. I now propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Yes, proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
I needed to propose the question before I allow you, so now I've allowed you.
Okay, Chairman, I think you better listen to this. We had agreed that you need to define catalytic national infrastructure. I don't know whether now, at what point do you do that? Because I think it's important.
Okay, Chairperson, that seems to be a valid issue. Let him have a minute to respond. Okay, while we are waiting, Honorable Kangogo, while we wait for the chair to respond to Honorable Makali.
Yes, under clause 2, Honorable Chair, the chair has given saying that the definition of governing council, which I don't have a problem, but the definition of national infrastructure means the national highways, the railway networks, airports, seaports, electricity generation, transmission and distribution infrastructure, water reservoirs, and irrigation, and the agri infrastructure. I'm wondering, Honorable Chair, where is the ICT infrastructure in this infrastructure fund? When we are laying the fiber cable as a country, we are less than 20%. Where is our ICT infrastructure in this fund?
The assumption is that ICT is also infrastructure.
And yes, and also the definition
Energy is infrastructure, transmission of power is infrastructure, fiber cables, even the internet connectivity is infrastructure.
So it must come out because like these other items defined here, Honorable Chair, including even the national highways, must be defined properly.
Okay, Honorable Chairperson, what do you have to say? And also respond to Honorable Makali.
Honorable Chairperson, first of all, to respond to my good friend Honorable Makali, we, in our amendments in definition of national infrastructure, we remove the word catalytic. So that national infrastructure means national highways, railway networks, airports, seaports, electricity generation, transmission and distribution infrastructure, water reservoirs and irrigation, and we have also added agribusiness and ICT infrastructure to take care of the concerns of Honorable Kagoe. And so I'm moving further that you amend the definition to include ICT infrastructure as per the definition of national infrastructure. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
I propose the question that clause 2, be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Will as many be further amended as proposed? Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 2 be further amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose a question that the title be part of the bill. I now put the question that the title be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
Yes, clause 1, I think there is a proposed amendment.
Yes, Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 1 of the bill be amended by deleting the words "and shall come into operation on such a day of the as the Cabinet Secretary may by notice the Gazette appoint." And this Honorable Chairperson is seeking to ensure that we avert undue delay in the operationalization of the fund.
I now propose the question that clause 1 be amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 1 be amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 1 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we have come to the end, and now I call upon the mover to reply.
Mike, sorry. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the National Infrastructure Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable members, I now put the Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the National Infrastructure Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2026, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker.
Very well, honorable members. We're back to the House Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the National Infrastructure Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2026, and the approval of the same with amendments. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House be amended by inserting the words "subject to recommit of clauses 22 and 22.1 and clause 23, and also request the chairperson of the committee, Honorable Kimani Kuria, to second the motion.
Honorable Chairperson, I want to thank everyone that has contributed this. Honorable Speaker, I beg to thank everyone who has really contributed to this. I am happy that we've all added value to this piece of legislation. We've made a lot of amendments, and so, Honorable Speaker, I beg to second. I beg to second, subject to the committee of the two clauses as read by the leader of majority party.
Very well. Honorable members, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable members, I think I heard the sum recommittal. So therefore, if there's a recommittal, then we need to do the recommittal first. Honorable members, I now put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Okay, I'll take it again. Freeze, honorable member. I now put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report, subject to committal of clause 22 and clause 23. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a different opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Oh. We, honorable members, we now move to the committee of the whole House.
Honorable members, we shall now recommit clause 22 of the bill, which will be amended, and clause 23. Mover? Let him call it out.
Clause 22.
Clause 22, mover.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 22 be further amended by deleting subclause 1. Honorable Chairperson, subclause 1 was requiring that project preparation for the purpose of this act or this bill be undertaken in accordance with the provisions of sections 31 and 32 of the Public-Private Partnership Act. But, Honorable Chairperson, many of the investments that will come into this fund are direct foreign investments from private entities and therefore may not necessitate us to go to the PPP framework for approval or for to be considered under the PPP Act. Then I'll speak to the 23 when we get to it, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable.
I beg to move.
Thank you, Majority Leader. I now propose the question that clause 22 be further amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 22 be further amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 22 as amended be now part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover?
Clause 23.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that clause 23 be further amended by retaining clause 23 as it appears in the bill. Honorable Chairperson, we had deleted clause 23, and for those who have a copy of the bill, clause 23 is on feasibility studies, and the clause 22, as passed, is alluding to a feasibility study, but we had deleted the subsequent clause that provided for that feasibility study. And I beg to move and ask for your support.
Thank you, that was important. I now propose the question that clause 23 be further amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 23 be further amended as proposed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I now put the question that clause 23 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. That brings us to the end of the recommittal stage of the National Infrastructure Bill.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker.
Very well, honorable members, we may take our place. Again. And I call upon the chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the National Infrastructure Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2026 and approved the same with amendments.
Very well. Mover. Yes, we have to go through it again. Mover, you may proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request the Honorable Osoro to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to second. Very well. Honorable members, I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable members, I proceed to put the question. And now I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a different opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the National Infrastructure Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2026, be now read a third time. Honorable Speaker, as I request the Chair of the Finance and National Planning Committee to second this motion for reading of this third reading, allow me to take this opportunity to thank all these members present here today and all those who supported this bill in second reading and appreciate the input of those who opposed this bill. And I have particular mention to the Honorable Undo, the Honorable Makali Mulu, the Honorable Robert Mbui, and the Honorable Tongoyo. Ngogoyo, not Tongoyo. Honorable Tongoyo supported. And I have special mention for these 4 members because they opposed the bill and proposed amendments and have been here to legislate. They were not raising issues they were raising for politics. They were raising issues they raised because they intended to improve the bill, because they know this bill is important for this country. And I want to borrow the words of the Honorable Undo, who said that he is not opposed to the establishment of a national infrastructure fund, but said there were gaps that needed to be filled. And today you have heard he has prayed for us that we may be blessed because the Committee for Finance and National Planning listened to all those issues, proposed amendments. Honorable Speaker, I'm taking time to say this because I said we have suffered as a House in the past, and especially during the 2024 Finance Bill, because Kenyans did not understand the process through which legislation goes through before it becomes an act of parliament. And now Kenyans have an opportunity to understand what we do and how we work. That during debate in second reading, even when a bill goes through second reading, that is not the end of everything. It's just debate where we share ideas that improve on the bill or the proposal that is before the House. And I'm thanking these members because also there are members who came here to speak to the gallery, to speak those things that they thought were populist. But you will not see them here today. I don't need to mention anyone by name because they know themselves and they should be ashamed of themselves. Honorable Speaker, this bill, should it pass through this third stage, is the most consequential legislation ever enacted in this House. Not in the 13th Parliament, but the most consequential legislative proposal ever enacted in independent Kenya's National Assembly of Parliament of Kenya. The most consequential. Other than sessional paper number 10 of 1965 proposed by then Minister for Planning, the late Tom Joseph Mboya. This is the next most consequential piece of legislation that will immensely contribute to the transformation of our country. And I must thank each and every one of you. When His Excellency the President during the State of the Nation address told you that your diligence as members of Parliament in the 13th Assembly has secured you a place in the rewritten history of the transformation of our country, this is one such piece of legislation that is redefining your place in the history books of our country. Because generations to come in this country and in the world will look at this law and will thank each and every member who sat in the 13th Parliament of the National Assembly of Kenya for the transformation of Kenya as we move towards a first world country. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, let me say the journey to Singapore has been christened. It is not just real. We can see it. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We can see now how clear the vision is. And we have now put that roadmap towards a first world nation on course. Honorable Speaker, as we go to Singapore through Canaan, Honorable Speaker, these members of the 13th Assembly of this House have their place not only secured in the history books of our Republic, but have a good place in heaven. Because God the Almighty will remember each and every one of you for your contribution in the transformation of this country. And we will be a case study to be studied by other countries in Africa and in the world. May God bless Kenya. May God bless each and every one of you. May God touch the souls of those who have dark hearts and dark souls. May God touch the hearts of those younger ones who may camouflage their dark spirits and souls behind press conferences, behind lectures in lecture halls, behind the rush and the chasing of news bites of how intelligent or unintelligent you are. Today, those of you who have sat through this process of making amendments to this bill to make it better, you are not only the heroes of this country, but you have exhibited that you are indeed great leaders and not just politicians who will speak to the gallery for the sake of speaking to the gallery. Let me finish by saying we have been reminded often that it is not necessarily everything that you hear is popular out there is the right thing. Not everything that is popular is right. And not every right thing is popular. You have done the right thing. I have heard some other group out there purporting to issue a press conference to speak against this bill. How I wish they had taken their time. You know, when we came up with the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto, we went throughout the country, we went to 44 out of the 47 counties, and we could have done the 47, is only that we ran out of time. Listening to Kenyans. And I am certain even those who were in Azimio then, and I know members of ODM particularly, went out because the former Prime Minister believed in listening to the people. And he went out and listened to people, and he had an economic council. How I wish those who are in the disunited opposition today, instead of issuing press conferences out there, how I wish you can set up an economic council that can start formulating an agenda for Kenya, an agenda to move Kenya forward. Because it's not enough to just political National Infrastructure Fund. We ask in the National Assembly to reject. The National Assembly today has listened to the cries of millions of Kenyan youth who have no jobs, who know through this National Infrastructure Fund, we will be able to grow our economy and create jobs for those people who have no jobs. These members of parliament unanimously and working together irrespective of our political affiliation. I may not agree with Honorable Makali or Robert Mbui on everything politically, or Honorable Undo. But when it comes to doing what is right for our country, I thank you, honorable members, for being there and being counted among us the numbers of those who truly love this country. Thank you and God bless you. I beg to move and request now the Honorable Chairperson of the Finance Committee to second.
Honorable Speaker, when I left my finance career, then at the top of my career, and I can say this because I used to work very closely with the Honorable Chair of Budget, Honorable Atandi, who was my banker then, and joined politics. I was elected at a very young age to lead the people of Molo. The mantra for Molo was you do one term, you go home. But I decided I will do my best and convince them to give me a second term. And 30 years after anyone ever got a second time, was re-elected for a second time. When I joined this house in this 13th Parliament and was privileged to become the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Finance and National Planning, I made a commitment with myself and my God that yes, it's going to be difficult, but I will be there to be counted to make responsible decisions for this country. At first, those decisions may not be popular, but I was certain that with time, those decisions will be seen to change the future of this country and the anchor of our finance, Honorable Chairperson. I want it to be known that it's during the time of this parliament that is going to be celebrated not just one road that is referenced called Thika Road, which I agree is a key reform and a key infrastructure project. But honestly, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Speaker, there are going to be highways that are going to be built across this country through this infrastructure fund. That the viability of infrastructure projects does not just mean that they need to be in the city. There can be very key projects in Turkana or in northeastern or in eastern or anywhere part of this country. And the amendment that we made lastly, Honorable Chairperson, with the advice of the Honorable Kogen Bowen here, we now have included in ICT infrastructure as part of infrastructure fund. And therefore we look forward to when our data will be not held in overseas countries, but we're going to have data centers, this country, Honorable Speaker. We're going to have mega dams. We're going to have all projects that are going to lead to economic development. And most importantly, Honorable Speaker, that I will not have to spend 6-8 hours to go back to Nakuru or to Molo because Ronima Summit Road and other highways will be complete through this National Infrastructure Fund. Thank you, and I beg to second, Honorable Speaker.
Well, let me just say one from Makali Mulu. He has been very consistent. Order Makali Mulu. Honorable members, I propose the question that the National Infrastructure Fund. Order members. Veteran, take your place. I'll take it again. Honorable members, I propose the question that the National Infrastructure Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2026, be now read a third time. Honorable members, it seems to be the mood that I put the question. Is it the mood that I put the question? Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? Honorable members, I proceed to put the question. And I now therefore put the question, which is that the National Infrastructure Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2026, be now read a third time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Thank you, honorable members.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide the establishment and management of the National Infrastructure Fund and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto.
Yes, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I would like to move a procedural motion on extension of sitting time, Honorable Speaker, so that we are able to, that pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 33A, this House resolves to extend the sitting of today, Thursday, 5th March 2026, until the conclusion of the business appearing under Order Number 10, consideration of the budget policy statement BPS for the financial year 2026-2027, and request the Honorable Osoro to second.
Honorable Speaker, I second.
Yes, what's your point of order? Order. Order, and take your places. Very well. This is a procedural motion. I now propose the question that pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 33A, this House resolves to extend its sitting of today, Thursday, 5th March 2026, until the conclusion of business appearing under Order Number 10, which is consideration of budget policy statement BPS for the financial year 2026-2027. Honorable members, I proceed to put the question that pursuant provisions of Standing Order 33A, this House resolves to extend its sitting of today, Thursday, 5th March 2026, until the conclusion of business appearing under Order Number 10, which is the consideration of the budget policy statement BPS for the financial year 2026-2027. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 10, motion, consideration of the 2026 budget policy statement.
Chair, budget.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I move that this House adopt the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the budget policy statement for the financial year 2026-2027 and a compendium of departmental committee reports on the 2026 BPS laid on the table of the House Wednesday, 4th March 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 25, subsection 7 of the PFM Act, Cap 412A, and Standing Order 2329 and 10, A, approves the budget policy statement for the financial year 2026-2027. B, makes the following financial resolutions with respect to BPS. One, that the national government budget ceiling be approved at 2,878,426,500,000, of which one, the executive, will take 2,797,202,700,000, of which the Office of the Auditor General will take 9,026,300,000. Parliament will take 50,782,000,000. Judiciary will take 30,441,800,000. Two, that the allocation to county government equitable share be approved at 420 billion. Three, that consistent with the latest audited and approved revenues, the allocation to equalization fund be set at 9,602,170,425. Four, that the county government additional allocations be approved at Kenya shilling 75 billion, 692,700,182, as per the first schedule to the report, which shall form the basis for the county government additional allocations bill for the financial year 2026-2027. Five, that the allocation for the public participation initiatives be approved at 4 billion under the vote 1071 National Treasury. C, results that one, consistent with the resolution of the House of 3rd March 2026 on the 2026 medium-term debt strategy, the fiscal deficit be maintained at 5.3% of the gross domestic product, GDP. Two, that the first schedule to the order paper forms the basis for the sellings for the financial year 2026-2027 budget estimates. Three, the policy resolutions contained in the schedule 2, in the second schedule to the order paper, that is non-financial recommendations relating to the budget policy statement for the financial 2026-2027, shall form the basis for 2026-2027 budget estimates. And four, the minimal adjustments in the gross ceilings in the second schedule to the report be accommodated in the revenue yield expected from the ongoing administration reforms and the enhanced funding to KRA. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I intended to make a long speech, but I've received wise counsel from the majority leader and the leadership of the House that because the BPS that we are processing today is not the final budget, that the House will have another opportunity to discuss the estimates in a couple of months. So, Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that this BPS, the fourth BPS under the Kenya Kwanza government, is also the second BPS under the broad-based government regime. Honorable Speaker, the majority leader has spoken more about the manifestos of the Kenya Kwanza regime as well as the manifestos of the broad-based government. And we have said in the past, Honorable Speaker, that the manifestos were more or less similar because of the issues that we wanted to pursue as broad-based government, as the Mio government, were almost the same as the issues that were contained in the manifesto for the Kenya Kwanza regime. And I want to agree with him that even when we are joined together as broad-based government, we are actually aligned in our economic thinking. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to say that to thank members of the Budget Committee who worked tirelessly with me to process this BPS. Honorable Speaker, you are aware that BPS is processed under very, very tight timelines. And together and coupled with that, there's a requirement in Article 201 that maximum public participation must be conducted before the document is presented here. So I want to thank the committee, the various committees led by their chairs, who took time to work with us and to be able to come up with this report. Honorable Speaker, in processing this report, we also engaged with various stakeholders, and we were able to speak to the Office of the Auditor General. We also met the Commission for Revenue Allocation, and we also met other stakeholders that also spoke to us about other very important segments of the BPS, which include the shareable allocation to counties. Honorable Speaker, we spoke to the Council of Governors, and they gave us their views about the contents of the BPS. Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that, our economy has been growing steadily, and that in this current financial year, we had projected that the economy would grow by about 5%. But looking at the growth in the first 3 quarters has been very, very promising. In the first quarter, Honorable Speaker, our GDP grew by about 4.9%. In the second quarter, it grew by about 5%. And in the third quarter, it has grown by about 4.9%. So, Honorable Speaker, if you look at those growth percentages, you will see that our projections in the current budget we are actually achieving them. Honorable Speaker, this BPS is equally promising to grow our economy by about 5.3%. And Honorable Speaker, this growth is going to be anchored on a number of factors. The first factor that is going to determine this growth is the agricultural expansion. Honorable Speaker, our economy continues to rely heavily on the performance of agriculture. And agriculture has not let us down, Honorable Speaker. And in this BPS, we have continued to allocate resources that is going to support the projected growth in agriculture, that is going to fuel our growth in GDP. Also, Honorable Speaker, there is the efforts that has been put in place to pay pending bills. Honorable Speaker, pending bills in the road sector has been paid substantially. And because of this, Honorable Speaker, most contractors of stalled projects that had stalled have resumed construction. Mr. Speaker, this is going to have a very big impact in the performance of our economy. Because one, we are going to see, first of all, the performance of the financial sector. Banks are going to begin to release funds to the private sector, and this is going also to help us in growing the economy. Honorable Speaker, you know that under the program of securitization of fuel levy, which was really most opposed by a few of our members here, this is now the outcome of that process, that program. And Honorable Speaker, if you walk across this country, you see that most of those roads that were stalled are now working. Now, that is going to give us an impact on the economy. Honorable Speaker, we are also focusing on the MSME sector. And Honorable Speaker, you know that the program called Nyota, which is being spearheaded by the President, is not just a program. We are focusing that this program is going to give us a rebound in the economic performance. And it is something that I want to tell the House that even in this budget, we are in this BPS, we have some money that we have put to enhance that program. Honorable Speaker, the other issue that I would like to talk about is housing. Honorable Speaker, the housing program, the affordable housing program, is a very, very important flagship project for this economy. I want to report, Honorable Speaker, as the Chairman of Budget and Appropriations Committee, that the industry sector, which is supported by housing, is rebounding and it is growing steadily, and it is one of the factors that we are going to use to germinate our economy. Honorable Speaker, the biggest problem we have had in the past is our revenue targets. Honorable Speaker, over the past few years, the revenue projection that we bring to the floor of the House is never realized. And there have been many attempts to be able to, correct this. In the past, Honorable Speaker, there were attempts to increase headcount at KRA, and we were thinking that because KRA needed more staff, that if KRA was resourced to hire more staff, then we would be able to collect more revenues. We realized that this did not give us proper results. So, Honorable Speaker, in this BPS, we have made a deliberate attempt to reorganize KRA, to make KRA, digitize KRA, to make KRA, capable of be able to work and raise for us more revenues. Honorable Speaker, we are doing this because if you look at the percentage of revenues we raise as a percentage of GDP, we are doing about 16%. The total revenue we collect is about 16% to GDP. Honorable Speaker, if you make comparisons to the regional economies, the ones that we compete with, like South Africa, they are doing 25% to GDP. That means, Honorable Speaker, that the structure of our economy is capable of raising more revenues. Honorable Speaker, I'm putting more emphasis on on the revenue aspect of my presentation because this is where our problem has been. And Honorable Speaker, the BPS has proposed to allocate 20 billion shillings to KRA for the sake of conducting these reforms. We want KRA to be fully digitalized. We want KRA to be fully automated. We are trying to remove human interface in the process of collecting revenues. We want KRA to be more efficient, and we want KRA to use those resources to expand the tax base. Honorable Speaker, it is true that only a few Kenyans are paying their taxes, that there are so many Kenyans out there, even businesses, that are not paying their taxes. So we want to find a formula that we can use to ensure that we bring more people, we broaden the tax base. Honorable Speaker, if we do this, then we are very certain that for the first time, the revenue projection which we have put at about 2.9 trillion ordinary revenue is something that we can easily realize. Honorable Speaker, in this current financial year, our revenue projection was 2.7 trillion. But to date, we are running at a shortfall of about 100 billion. We are sure that if we improve these systems going forward, then achieving up 20-25% of our GDP as total revenue is something that is possible. Honorable Speaker, I also want to speak about the overall expenditure. The BPS has proposed an overall expenditure of 4.75 trillion. And as I've already read here, Honorable Speaker, this is an improvement of about 300 billion because in this budget, our total expenditure was 4.3 trillion. Honorable Speaker, the national government will continue to take the largest chunk of our revenue, of our budget. And in this BPS, we are proposing a selling of 2.86 trillion for national government. That is an increase of about 317 billion from the approved estimates for this financial year. Honorable Speaker, Parliament, as you have seen, will take about 50 billion. Judicial. So there are overall increases in all these institutions. But Honorable Speaker, you have seen that the transfers to counties will be about 420 billion only. That is an improvement of about 5 billion from this year's estimates. Honorable Speaker, most people that we spoke to have challenged this allocation. They are saying that we need to increase it to about 450 billion. That is a recommendation of CRA, that's a recommendation of the Council of Governors. But Honorable Speaker, we still insist that this is modest and this is achievable. You realize, Honorable Speaker, that when in case of revenue shortages, it is the national government that normally bear that shortage. The amount of resources allocated to counties is never affected. So, Honorable, we have to be very careful also on that so that we do not push more resources to counties. And with the challenges that members of this House are aware of, it is something that we feel is accommodative. Honorable Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity now to take you through the budget ceilings for the various sectors, for members to take note. And Honorable Speaker, I just take the members through the ceilings for the various sectors. And the sectors are as follows. The first sector that I want to speak about, Honorable Speaker, is one, the agriculture, rural and urban development sector. Honorable Speaker, the selling for this sector has been increased by about 17.7%. Honorable Speaker, I spoke about this sector. And I said that we are putting a lot of effort in the agriculture sector because agriculture sector, even from the records that we have, has been performing very, very well. And we have been lucky to get the support of favorable weather. We are hopeful that even in the coming financial year, we are still going to enjoy favorable weather to allow us to enjoy the fruits of the investments we are putting in the agriculture sector. Consequently, Honorable Speaker, the agriculture sector selling is 97 billion and 7. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I want to speak about the energy, infrastructure, and ICT sector. Honorable Speaker, this sector has also proposed an increase of about 11.2%, and the proposed BPS allocation to energy, infrastructure, and ICT sector is 597 billion. Honorable Speaker, let me move to the general economic and commercial affairs sector. These sectors have seen an increase of about 6.9%, and the total allocation in the ceiling is 62 billion, 192 million. Honorable Speaker, the other sector is health. Honorable Speaker, this is also one of the sectors that is going to be very instrumental in this BPS. As you are aware, the primary health in the Universal Health Program is intended to address comprehensive health care for all Kenyans, including those who are not able to earn, the poor and the rest. Even though the funding required for universal health care, primary health care, is about 38 billion. In this BPS, we are proposed to allocate about 13 billion. We hope that in the course of the year, we should be able to raise more resources to support primary health care. Consequently, Honorable Speaker, the allocation for health program is 167 billion, 407 million, an increase of 21% from this year's estimates. Honorable Speaker, I want to move to the education sector. The education sector, Honorable Speaker, takes the largest chunk of our budget, always. And even in this BPS, we are proposed to allocate even more. And the education budget is growing by about 9%. From 703 billion in this year's budget to 767 billion in the BPS that we are processing. Honorable Speaker, the next sector is governance, justice, law and order, where we propose to increase their budget by 16.6% from an allocation of 283 billion to 329.989 billion in the present BPS. Honorable Speaker, the other sector is public administration and international relations. This is where we have the public service, we have the foreign affairs and etc. In this sector, we are proposing an increase of 10.4% from an allocation of 321 billion, 503 million to 354 billion, 999 million. Honorable Speaker, the next sector is national security. National security is very, very important, Honorable Speaker. And just for members to know that we have really never funded national security satisfactorily. But we have an increase of 18.2% in this BPS. We are moving there, selling from 253,770 billion to 299,963. That's an increase of 18.2%. Honorable Speaker, the other one is social protection, culture, and recreation, where we are growing their selling by 18.2% from 78 billion 994 to 87.225 to 87 billion 225 million. Honorable Speaker, the last sector that I want to talk about is environment protection, water, and natural resources, where their budget is growing by 11.3% from an allocation of 95 billion in the current estimates to 106 billion 706 million. Honorable Speaker, as I mentioned earlier when I began, that the BPS is just prepares us to process the real estimates, which is going to happen in the next few months. So I know members are going to have a very big opportunity to discuss the estimates, and we'll have more opportunity as a House to interrogate the estimates. I would like to ask members to support the BPS 2026.
Give him the mic so that he may. You have the mic.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to urge members to support the BPS. We have made a few changes in the parliamentary service vote, in the security vote, and also in the Auditor General vote, and also as well as judiciary. Remember, the report is here, and every member, I think, has the report. So I would like to urge you members to support this BPS so that we can be able to proceed to the estimates. Therefore, I would like to ask the Vice Chairman of the Budget Appropriations Committee, my brother, Dr. Pukose. To second.
Pronounce yourself on moving.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I therefore move and ask the Vice Chairman to support, to second. I beg to move and ask the Vice Chairman to second.
Bokose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I second the 2026 budget policy statement that was tabled in this House, and it went through the various committees. And Honorable Speaker, this budget statement sets the ceilings for the various ministries, and it also sets the ceiling for Parliament, the judiciary, the executive, and also allocates money to the counties, which we've allocated 420 billion, Honorable Speaker, compared with the last financial year where we allocated 415. So it's an improvement, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we are hoping that when the estimates will be tabled, then that is where members can be able now to look at what has been allocated per line item. And we are hoping that in this case, ministries and even the counties will prioritize pending bills as the first charge. Because, Honorable Speaker, in this we have pending bills that have stayed for quite a long time without being paid. And this limits money circulation, because wherever people talk about that the economy is growing, but we are not feeling the money in their pockets, because some of those pending bills are actually not being honored, and people go into new projects while neglecting the old projects. So we are hoping that in the budget estimates, all stalled projects must be prioritized. All pending bills must be first on the charge. And Honorable Speaker, you know, when the CS Treasury appeared before our committee, the only thing he can do is for the accounting officers to be, it can take away their signatures as accounting officers. That's the only power he has. But this House has more power, because when accounting officers cherry pick what pending bills to pay and what not to pay, then it hurts the economy. It hurts Kenyans who have invested and done works within either the county government or the national government. Honorable Speaker, in this budget policy statement, we've also given KRA about 20 billion. We are hoping that KRA will use this 20 billion to make sure that they generate more, because out of this, you find that 5 billion will go into their medical scheme, because KRA, when an officer has a child who is sick, that officer and is also looking for money to pay for the medical bills, it becomes a challenge. So we've taken care of our KRA staff so that they have a medical scheme that is working, and the other money they can utilize it to make sure that they are able to collect more, especially widen their collection base, so that we can be able to get more money. Honorable Speaker, in this bill also, in this estimate also, we've given the universal health care workers who have been agitating for permanent and pensionable. And this will now be taken to the counties where they are working, and they'll be able to be now employed as permanent and pensionable, because under this we've provided about 7.9 billion, so that that can go into absorption of all the UHC workers who are working within the counties, so that, and the payroll will be transferred to the counties beginning 1st July. Honorable Speaker, we are also moving into an election year. And as my chair puts it, the committee has at least looked into that we are moving into an election year, and our national security officers needs to be at least well taken care of to ensure that we are able to secure both our borders and also make sure that we maintain law and order. And in that case, the committee has raised the ceiling by about 3 billion to the national security agencies so that they are able to make sure that they are well catered for in terms of making sure that they are able to secure both internal and external. Honorable Speaker, this budget of 4.7 trillion, 4.75 trillion, we are hoping that we are able to meet our targets. But should we not meet the target in terms of collection, then it is normally the national government where the ceiling is about 2.8 that will meet the supplementary. And that informs the decision to give the counties the 420, because whatever goes to the counties is normally a figure that cannot be returned back for supplementary. And therefore, I think it's important that our colleagues within the Senate, the governors use these resources to make sure that devolution works in their various counties. Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I second.
Very well, honorable members. I now propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the Budget Policy Statement BPS for the financial year 2026-2027 and a compendium of departmental committee reports on the 2026 BPS laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 4th March 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 25(7) of the Public Finance Management Act, 412A and Standing Order 3, Standing Order 2-3 in brackets 9 and 10, approves the Budget Policy Statement, BPS, for the financial year 2026-2027. B, make the following financial resolutions with respect to BPS. That one, that the national government budget ceiling be approved at Kenya shillings 2,878,426,500,000, of which executive is appropriated 2,797,202,700,000. Two, Parliament, of which, I'll take that again, of which executive takes 2,797,202,700,000, of which Office of the Auditor General has 9,026,300,000. Parliament has 50,782,000,000. Judiciary has 30,441,800,000. Two, that the allocation to county government equitable share be approved at 420 billion Kenya shillings. Three, that consistent with the latest audited and approved revenue, the allocation to the equalization fund be set at 9,602,170,425. Four, that the county government additional allocation be approved at Kenya shillings 75,692,700,182 as per the fourth schedule to the report, which form the basis for the county government additional allocation bill for the financial year 2026-2027. Five, that the allocation for the public participation initiatives be approved at Kenya shillings 4 billion under vote 1071 National Treasury. C, that one, consistent with the resolution of the House of 3rd March 2026 on the 2026 medium-term debt strategy and fiscal deficit be maintained at 5.3% of the gross domestic product, GDP. 2, the first schedule to the order paper form the basis for the ceilings for the financial year 2026-2027 budget estimates. And 3, that policy resolutions contained in the second schedule to the order paper, non-financial recommendations relating to the budget policy statement for the financial year 2026-2027 shall form the basis for the financial year 2026-2027 budget estimate. And finally, that the minimal adjustments in the gross ceilings in the second schedule to the report be accommodated in the revenue yields expected from the ongoing tax administration reforms and enhanced findings to KRA. I will give the first chance to the chair, Trade, who has an amendment to this motion. Do we have the chair, Trade, in the House? Very well, proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I give notice to the... Sorry? Honorable Speaker, I wish to move an amendment on... Sorry? Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that... Sorry? Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the first schedule to the order paper be amended under vote D1175, State Department for Industry, as follows. A, under program 0320000 Industrial Promotion and Development, by deleting the expression Kenya shillings 4,227,600,000 and substituting thereof the expression Kenya shillings 1,444,600,000. B, under program 032100 Standards, Quality, Infrastructure and Research, by deleting the expression Kenya shillings 650,000 and substituting thereof the expression Kenya shillings 3,430,000.
You beg to move, and who's your seconder? Order, members. The chair is still on the floor. He will explain. Proceed and explain your amendment.
Honorable Speaker, the implementation of the county
Chair.
application...
Let me hear the point of order from the budget chair, because I'm sure you are working together. Give him the mic.
Honorable Speaker, I rise under Standing Order 114 to say that the Budget Committee is unfamiliar with this amendment. We are not aware of this amendment because it has not been brought to our attention.
Let me allow the chair, Trade, to continue and move the motion.
Honorable
and
Speaker,
also ask the deputy leader of the House and the chair budget to approach the speaker's table. Proceed, Chair.
Honorable Speaker, I launched the necessary amendments, Honorable Speaker, and it was approved. That is why it's on the order paper. Honorable Speaker, after meeting the relevant industry, Honorable Speaker, the committee in its engagement realized the following. The implementation of the county aggregation and industrial parks, which commenced in July 2023, is based on a co-financing arrangement requiring both the national government and the respective county governments to each contribute 250 million. However, the the current implementation status indicate that several county governments have not adequately prioritized this budgetary allocation, posing a significant risk of project delays or stalling due to insufficient counterpart funding. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, furthermore, the recent engagement with the Cabinet Secretary for Trade, Industry and Infrastructure Promotion, it was not acknowledged that the current implementation model of the county aggregation and industrial parks requires restructuring as the initial framework adopted as uniform approach across the counties, which inadequately accounting for the diverse economic activities and comparative advantages of each region. In the light of the existing funding caps, consistent county commitment to co-financing obligations, the need to redesign the framework to ensure counter-specific implementation, it is not prudent to allocate additional funds to CAIPS in financial 2026-27 until model is reviewed and counties show commitment to funding their shares. Honorable Speaker, the 13 CAIPS with the nil allocation under the national government had 0 to 5% implementation as per the report submitted to the committee. During the estimates, considering financial year 2024-26, some facing challenges even with land issues like Elgeyo Marakwet and Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, even after funding counties like Vihiga, full amount, it is only at 17%. Funding a county like Siaya is only at 23%, and we have funded full 250 from the national government. Honorable Speaker, there is no way we can oversight this money. One, it goes to the county, there is no framework to oversight the money. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, Honorable Speaker, the agreement that existed before was only for 18 counties. The other counties have no framework of receiving the money and even, Honorable Speaker, of showing how they have contributed to the fund. Honorable Speaker, as we stand, we have financed fully 8.5 billion to 34 CAIPS up to now. We ask this House to resolve, Honorable Speaker, that the funding stops until it is redesigned, restructured, so that the taxpayers' money, it is not lost in this manner, Honorable Speaker.
Who's your seconder?
Thank you.
Who's your seconder? Who is your seconder? Give him the mic. Give him the mic. Who is your seconder? Yes. Relax, I'll give you a chance.
Honorable Speaker.
Order, Honorable Makali.
I beg to move and ask Honorable Marianne Kaitani, the Vice Chair of Trade Committee, to second.
Honorable members, I know you have several things to speak of on this, but allow Honorable to second, and then I'll allow you to proceed. Proceed, Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to second this amendment that has been passed, where the ceiling, the lines, that is the industrial promotion development line item of 4.2 billion is being reduced to 1.447. And the next line, that is the standards and quality infrastructure and research amount, is increasing from 650 to 3.430 billion. And that, in effect, does not affect the ceiling for that particular vote head, that is D1175. The vote head remains as 9,191,600 as per the budget policy statement. As I second, Honorable Speaker, I wish to raise that, I wish to state that this particular item came before the departmental committee. And we really looked at the issues that came before the committee in terms of how these CAIPs or county aggregation industrial parks are being implemented. One is the State Department itself told us that they are unable to oversight this particular fund, and the reasons they are not able to oversight is because of the way the structure of the funding has been put. Initially, the counties are supposed to give an equivalent amount as the national government. So if the national government gives 250 million, they are also supposed to put in 250 million. So far, we've done 34 counties which have already received the full allocation at national government level. And we only have 8 counties that have been able to implement their county aggregation industrial parks. Oversight of this funding has become a challenge, even for us as Parliament to be able to oversight these funds, because the funds go to the consolidated fund, and then after that supposed to go to a ring-fenced account. But what counties don't do is they do not take the monies to those county accounts, and when they are asked to account for it, they are unable to give reports to the departmental committee. Hence the reason